Hello, everybody. Welcome to my women's basketball rantings. This is where I give my thoughts about the happenings in the women's game. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. I put episode notes down in case you want to switch to a section that interests you. If you're still listening, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Let's get started. Today, I'll be talking about the week that was in the WNBA. So the regular season has started and it's in full swing, and I can now start judging teams by their performance or their lack thereof. So I'll just run down some of the highlights of this week. I think almost everybody has played at least 3 games. Okay, I think it's only Connecticut that hasn't played 3 games, but at least everybody has played 2 games. So we kind of have an idea of what's going on, the drama surrounding a lot of teams. This season is very dramatic, honestly. Let's just start from the top. The top news, and I always start with my favorite team, which is Seattle Storm. So Seattle Storm has been going through a storm, pun intended. They've lost 3 games in a row. That's like unheard of. I've never ever since I started following them, they don't lose back-to-back games, and not at the beginning of the season. So maybe at the end of the season, yes. I mean, last year it was a very weird year towards the end, but they only lost 2 games, I think, in a row. Never lost 3 games in a row. They are losing 3 games in a row. They are not playing that well. Well, you can't really say they are not playing that well because they don't have their best players, but I still feel there's just something off about the team right now. I think it's the energy levels. I think the passion, the grit, I don't think it's there. I think Subird, I think she's just not playing to the best of her ability. Not necessarily like not playing well. The energy about her, what makes her Subird, I cannot lose this game kind of attitude. I don't think it's there. I have not seen it. Even though she's still like doing her thing, apart from last game, of course, she went 0 for 8 from 3, which was very, very weird. But I can understand that happens. And it was still a 3-point game, so I don't think that was really what went down. I think the whole season is just off. This season is off. I hope they turn it around. Maybe when they get Mercedes Russell, Brianna Stewart, Epiphany Prince, maybe they will turn it around. But right now, I'm not impressed because I felt if it was the other team last year, I feel even though the other team last year wasn't optimal, I still feel they could have at least won the game against Phoenix, the recent one. In fact, the 2 of them, because when they were heading into the 4th quarter, it was just a 1-point game. It wasn't that they were blown out at the 1st quarter or 2nd quarter. It was just a 1-point game heading into the 4th. So why couldn't they close it out? Same thing with Vegas, 1-point game entering into the 3rd quarter. Same thing with the 2 Phoenix games. So it's like, what is going on? Why can't they close games out? So Seattle, please figure your shit out. I don't know what's going on. If not, I mean, you're already at the bottom of the league. You are just only you and Minnesota. That's embarrassing. Unless you guys want to tank for Paige, I'm okay with that. Like, you need a point guard after Super anyway. So you can say, this is a lost season. Let's just forget about this season and try to do the best we can and just enjoy Super's last game and move on from there, because I honestly don't know what's going on there, and I hope they do better. But they do have a little bit of promise. Holding Phoenix to 69 points was impressive, especially with Tina Charles and Dana Rossi, Sarah Diggins. Like, there were some powerhouses in that Phoenix team, and they held them to 69 points. So I was impressed, but I wasn't impressed. I feel they should have closed that game out and they should have won that game. And it's not getting any better because Chicago is next. I mean, their early season is actually very rough. For Minnesota, they had Aces, Phoenix. Those are tough. Even last year, they were tough teams. Chicago was a tough team last year. I don't think they won any game against Chicago. So their opening schedule was rough. So I can understand why they are losing, but I still don't give them an excuse. They should be better. So let's move on from Seattle. Let's go to Minnesota. Minnesota is a mess right now. I don't know if they're getting better, because I watched the one with the game they played against Chicago Sky. I mean, it's Chicago Sky, and they did take them. They gave them a run for it. I think it ended up being, hold on, a 3-point game. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, for a team that's getting themselves together. So yes, they are trying to recover. But at the beginning of the season, yeah, they weren't playing right. Like, Jesse Sims was doing whatever she wanted. I don't even know who they had. They had some funny players I didn't understand. Who were the people at the beginning of the season? Jesse Sims was waived. Bjorn Turner was doing point guard. I really didn't understand it. The rotations were no. You could tell the urgency wasn't there, and so they blew up their entire roster basically, and brought in new players. I still think, I don't know why she just did not want to work with Leja Keradin, because I felt Leja Keradin would have really brought some stability into the team, but maybe she wanted someone younger. I don't know what she wanted, but so she brought in Mariah Jefferson, which I like her, but I've not really seen her play like that. Like, I've not been really impressed with her play, Mariah Jefferson. But she did a good job yesterday. She had 16 points and 5 assists, so that is good. So maybe it was in Dallas. Personally, I don't rate Dallas. I don't think Coach Vicky is a good coach per se. I don't think she's a player coach, because if she was a player coach, the player development would have been better. So I don't feel she's a good coach. I think she's a coach that just believes in the ability of their players. Okay, just do what you can do. Like, I'm not going to, like, if you're not doing it, then I will remove you. Like, she's not like, oh, okay, we'll play you, try to make you better. She's not like that. So I'm not really a fan of her, honestly. So I'm happy Mariah Jefferson is out of that ship. Let's talk about Dallas for a bit. Dallas has been doing really well. I was very impressed. Personally, I'm not a fan of Dallas. I don't think they are good. I don't think they know how to play. I don't think they are too dependent on Arike. But so far, I'm loving it. They are young. The energy is there. They have some really good players that are just like playing. I think that's their point. They just play like, and if they run into a good team, they lose. If they run into a bad team, they win. You know, or if they run into a team that is too strategic. Sometimes strategy can cost you the game. Then they'll win or something like that. They just play. Like, they don't really have any strategy to what they do, in my opinion. And so far, it's been working for them. They won their last 2 games. I loved the way they played against Washington Mystics. So everybody was like, oh, Washington Mystics was on a 0-3 run. And they were going to, like, obviously it's Dallas. So I honestly thought Washington Mystics was going to win the game. And it looked like they were going to win the game until Dallas just came back. I don't know what happened to the Washington Mystics. They're just not playing well. They just fell apart, really, in that fourth quarter. I think it was because Nasha Cloud wasn't there because of course, she was out because of COVID protocol. So Nasha Cloud's like, she scores and she's a very stable in presence. So I think they kind of fell apart, and the Wings took advantage in that game. They've been playing really well. I give it to them. I believe in giving honor to who honor is due. And the Wings have been playing well. And I hope they continue, but I'd like to see them against like really tough teams, like maybe like an ACs. I'd like to see them against Chicago. Those are like really tough teams. I'd like to see how they can hold their own against them. So let's talk about Liberty for a little bit. Yeah, Liberty too is falling apart. Another falling apart team. Brondello is Brondelloing. I told her about Brondello. She's a good coach, but she can be very funny at times. Like, sometimes that team just plays in a very funny way, and they just don't know how to play. Then sometimes they play well. I don't really understand that. Sha and Vicky Johnson, I put them in the same category. They're just weird coaches, honestly. I don't understand their rotations. I don't know how they play. I don't know how they energize their players. I don't know how they put their players on the floor. I don't know what they do. I just finished watching the Wings and the Liberty, and the Wings really, like, from start to finish, they controlled the game. Even like I said, I don't rate the Wings, but in this game I was very impressed. The Liberty, they did well, but there's just something missing about them. Like, they have all the pieces they need to be good, but the players themselves are not showing up. They had every opportunity to do well, but for some reason they're just not doing well. Stephen Dawson really needs to play better. She's not playing well. For the amount of money that she got in the off season, she needs to be a spark for this team. She was supposed to be the person that was going to disrupt the other team's defense, like get the rebounds and all. I feel she's out of shape. She's not playing the way she should be playing. She's not even attempting to play the way she should be playing. And she's just like, oh, I'm big. Let me just be on the floor. And if she continues like this, they are going to replace her with Ansu. Really, they are really going to replace her with Ansu, because Ansu is playing really well. So I don't understand what's going on with Liberty, but they really need to fix it, because I know they have pieces that can hang with the Wings, and the Wings should not be winning, and not less winning by 10 points. And they even lost to the Fever. That takes me to the Fever. the Fevers are they're actually good this year. I'm impressed. Like, I mean, like it's a question mark. Like, okay, let's see how they'll hang against like tough teams. But yeah, I'm very impressed with them. They've been winning some really good games. They've been playing really well. They're exciting to watch. Last year they were a drag. It was boring. Their offense was stagnant. They didn't even care that if they were on the court. They're just a boring team. But this year, like the young, energetic players like Destiny Anderson and Nysa Smith, Queen Egbo, like they've been really showing that. I mean, these are good college players, and I'm very impressed with what's going on there. Very, very impressed. I thought they were going to be like the New York Liberty in 2020, where they staffed them with a bunch of rookies, and the rookies didn't even know what to do on the floor. But this time, yeah, they've been showing so much art. Right now, they're playing the dream. They're really playing well. I give it to them. I like watching them now, so I'm very impressed. Let me just talk about the final teams. Chicago Sky is looking really good. I'm loving them. I've always liked Chicago Sky, actually. Apart from, I mean, I'm not really a fan of Candice Parker, but I love Conde Vandersloot, and I'm a contactor who has been playing well, even though there's some 1 or 2 lapses. But I'm loving Chicago this year. Atlanta Dream, I really don't care about them. But Ryan Howard is actually fun to watch. But apart from that, I really don't care about them. LA is okay. I have nothing to say about them. They're just not interesting to watch right now. This Cambridge, nothing fantastic. The only bright spot I like about the team is Jordan Canada. She's always good. They didn't really have a good showing against Connecticut Sun. The Connecticut Sun led from start to finish. I don't think they even came close to 10 points at any point in that game. So they were just a bit down. But then Connecticut Sun is one of the best teams in the league, so I can understand that. Connecticut Sun, they are the most boring team in WNBA. I'm sorry. That was boring. Maybe because this lady is not on the floor right now. Courtney Williams, who I love. She's going to come back the next game. I think she was on a 2-game suspension. So maybe when she comes back, they'll be interesting again. But I just don't see anything fun about them. Like, they just don't impress me in any way, shape, or form. Joshua Jones MVP. They just play. They're just not exciting to watch. Las Vegas Aces. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I really don't trust them. I would like to see how they play, but I don't really have much to say about them. But my Washington Mystics, I would like to see how they play in another game. Like I said, they allowed the Wings to come back, and that was weird. So I don't know what happened there, but now that they've had a chance to relax and things like that, maybe they will play better. So that's my wrap up for the W this week. I'm really looking forward to some really good games going on. I'm looking forward to Chicago Sky and Seattle. I hope they would have Brenna Stewart by then. And even if they don't, I would like to see how Chicago Sky and the new additions to the team really play against Chicago. I think they can take them. Chicago is not as good as, I mean, they are getting better, but I think this is a weak point. So if anything wanted to strike, this would be a good time to strike, because if Kalia Cooper comes back, game over. They are going somewhere, but now they're like a little bit weak. Another game that I'm very interested in watching this week would be the Aces Mercury. The first meeting with the Aces, I think it was a blowout of some sort, but that was first game of the year. Aces were still like, hey, we're on fire. But after the Aces, I saw they're showing with Mystics. I was like, man, this team has a very, very strong vulnerability. So I'd like to see how the showdown goes again with the Aces. All right, that's basically it. My predictions for the Commissioner's Cup, I feel the people that will get the Commissioner's Cup will be the Aces and Chicago, and I see the Aces taking it. And then for the semifinals, I see an Aces, I see Seattle. I believe by that time they will have come back to where they need to be, and then they'll go for a run the bottom half of the season. I believe that. And then I see a Chicago and I see a Phoenix. Oh God, I didn't put Connecticut. Oh yeah, Connecticut is definitely there. So I'll move Phoenix and put Connecticut. I think Connecticut is really going to be there. So it's going to be very like crowded at the top. Let's just say that. All right, that's it for my WNBA rankings this week. I'll try to watch more games next week and see how it goes. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.